Hey there, welcome to the Stupendous Marriage Podcast. Glad you're with us. Stu and Lisa Gray here. Great email today from Kristen. She said this: my husband and I have been married about a year and together for about 2. Even though we're still relatively new as a couple, we've been fortunate enough to agree on basically everything through conversation, prayer, and striving to put our spouse's needs before our own. My husband's best friend since high school recently got engaged. Now, I just learned that he's planning a bachelor's party in Las Vegas. I fully trust my husband to be faithful, but honestly, I don't feel that a Vegas bachelor party is appropriate. He thinks I'm being selfish by objecting. I would really appreciate some insight from a Christian perspective on vacationing without your spouse, and specifically, hosting a bachelor party in a destination location. Thanks so much, Kristen.
Thanks for the email, Kristen. Yeah, I don't know that I would be okay with a bachelor party in Vegas, honey. I hate to tell you that. I don't know if you have any friends that have been thinking about that.
Well, I hope not, because you're not a bachelor.
You're so funny.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll be here all week.
Well, this is the thing. Sometimes, I know she talked about vacationing without your spouse. I don't think going on a trip without your spouse is a bad thing. I think that there is, though, specifically some things and expectations that tend to happen with bachelor parties and bachelorette parties.
Right.
And not knowing whether or not his best friend is a Christian or not, and all those things, it's hard for us to say. I mean, I just think figuring out a way to be on the same page together, I don't know that I would be comfortable with that. And I think that if I wasn't, you would support me in that. What do you think? And what do you say?
Yeah, let me jump in here. TripAdvisor.com surveyed the people who go to their website, and they came up with the people who go to their website that 59% of the people who go to their website actually vacation by themselves. That husbands and wives are going to different places. Mm-hmm. So I don't think the problem is going to different places, hanging out by yourself. Obviously, there's got to be trust there. Where are you with the money and situations like that? So the trust thing, the trust factor is a real thing, and vacationing by yourself is a real thing. We've got friends who go vacation by themselves. You know what I mean? The kids and dad go one place and mom goes another. That's kind of the way of the world. So I don't think that's a problem. The Vegas thing is an issue. You have to know where your husband is, sexually, mentally healthy. Is he okay? Has he had a problem before? I think there are probably bachelor parties in Las Vegas, for people who live in Las Vegas that don't associate like going down to the Strip for a bachelor party. But if you're going to a city for a specific thing, I wonder what that's going to be. You know what I mean?
What would you do in Vegas if you're not going?
Gee, if you're going to have a bachelor party, you're going to have it in Vegas, where would you go? I wonder what you do in Vegas on a bachelor party.
Well,
I mean, that's just kind of silly.
Yeah, and I think if he talks to his best friend and goes, okay, buddy, does his best friend live in Vegas? Like you talked about,
sure,
and he's just going there to be a part of something, or what are the intentions of the trip? And if the intentions of the trip are something that you are not comfortable with as a wife, and I really think that your husband should respect that and set a boundary there with his friend and go, hey, buddy, you know what? Maybe I can't go on this bachelor trip because that's not necessarily my lifestyle at this point in my life. Mm-hmm. But maybe you and I can go out backpacking one weekend just to enjoy one last weekend together as your bachelor party.
Exactly.
Or do something different to respect my wife and to respect the fact that I want to celebrate with you.
Well, absolutely. I think that's a really good point. I hadn't thought about that, doing something special with him, because they have been friends for so long. Like you said before, we don't know the faith situation of the best friend. If it's a good faith situation, who knows? They may not be thinking where we're thinking.
Yeah.
But
we're thinking badly. We're thinking Vegas, exactly. And where do you go?
Yeah, exactly. We're going to the extreme here. So maybe that's not their situation at all. And Kristen, forgive us if that's not it at all. But there is some hesitation there.
Yeah.
So I get that. Kristen, your husband has to realize that he doesn't get to spend the rest of his life with his best friend. He has to spend it with you. And if there's going to be a trust issue there, he's got to grow up and realize that. We're called to be wise. We're also called to be free. But freedom doesn't necessarily mean freedom to do whatever we want. Freedom means to do what we should.
Yeah.
I think some of the best wisdom that I was ever given regarding tough situations or being tempted with something is, if you don't want to slip, don't go to slippery places.
That's good. Yeah. Yeah, and again, we don't know his history. It
No, not
may
at all.
be completely not a big deal for him to go there and be in that environment. But at the same time, what are you comfortable with, Kristen? And how can he respect you in this? And also be a good friend. And I
Right.
understand that that's it's a very difficult situation to be in, that your best friend wants you to be a part of a
Absolutely.
celebration,
Yeah.
and your wife is a little hesitant about it. So you guys coming together and realizing, we always go back to it's not a you against him thing. It's you guys together facing whatever the issue is side by side.
Right.
And so if you guys can both side by side stand together and go, okay, this is a problem. This event's going on. You're not comfortable with it. I'm okay with it. What can we do to compromise? How can we figure out a way that you become okay with it?
yeah.
How do we figure out a way for you talk to my best friend and get a better idea what's going to be happening or the expectations of the trip? Just doing a little bit more investigation together instead of making it about you against him, because you definitely don't want resentment down the line from him that he wasn't able to go because, quote unquote, you wouldn't let him. And
Right.
that tends to be
yeah.
sometimes where people go in their head.
Yeah, you got to get on the same page, and you got to keep having the conversations until you get to a place where you're both cool with it. And like I said, we don't know all the details of the situation. We're just kind of reading into the email what it could possibly be, what it might not be, what it could be. But you guys said, or Kristen, you said that you talk, you have conversations, you pray about stuff, and you're seeking God on things. At least that's what I'm assuming. So more prayer from you, more prayer from him. Sounds like he's got some more praying through this and communication needing to be happening.
Yeah, and we're sorry if it's not the chicka chicka wow wow that we think it is. So we'll be praying for you guys.
We really love hearing from you. Thank you so much. The best way to ask your question now is go to stupendousmarriage.com. Click the tab on the right-hand side that says send us your question or comment, and you can send us a quick, easy voicemail question. We would love to hear from you. We'll talk to you next time.